Okay, just making sure that I'm live everywhere where I need to be live. Remember, today is the members show. Today is the show for the members, by the members. We're going to be speaking about the final that's going to be happening on the weekend. I just want to make sure that everything is running fine. We seem to be good. Welcome, everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host, and this is the place where we speak South African football, African football, and then every now and then we go overseas to speak about Europe. Today is the Members Show. The Members Show is a show that is curated, that is run by the people who are in the WhatsApp group. To join the WhatsApp group, you have to follow the account. You have to subscribe to the account on YouTube and then click on join. And in the members area, there's a link to join the WhatsApp group where you can jump in and we can have conversations about whatever it is that we're speaking about. And that group is lively. You can drop a message at 2 a.m. and someone will banter you, or there'll be information, or someone will send a voice note. It's an incredible place to learn about football, but also, man, to have some fun. So today is about the members. You are listening to a call that's coming from the WhatsApp group that is live right now. And we're going to be speaking about Makesi versus Mamelodi Sundowns and what that game means for each of those two teams. Remember, touch and scream, listen in the gifty. For those who are not in the WhatsApp group, please tap the screen as much as possible. Let's try to get to 30,000. And we're going to go from there. So, my members, welcome, Muman.
Hello, OT. Hello. Today, I want to electrify the panel for the time that I have. But I think I'm Mr. OT. Makesi all the way.
Oh, friends of Makesi, GNU.
I'm not even a friend. This weekend, I'm a straight fan.
Yeah, Makesi.
Straight fan, yeah, Makesi. If I could, I would travel to Bloemfontein and be in the stands screaming Makubu to do Makubu. Because I don't have transport, I will sit at home and watch Dylan McCoy do his thing 10 better times to his Marispec days.
Yeah.
Fortune Makaringe. Spelele Ndlovu, Kibanga Specific Ndlovu, Bandileshanti, Mr. OT. Ndibalanto ina Julius Musiame.
Yeah.
I know when I say Julius Musiame, you go up somewhere. But
Ritlogele, Ramotiba, Judas.
I didn't even say Kwamkungu, Mara. I'm told Cinderella, I'm told. The shoe feet. But Mr. Uti, I will be there in spirit, hoping that Clinton Larson does what he did some 10 years or some 12 years ago, Mr. Uti. Slays the giant, Mr. Uti. Well, it's giant. Caliph of Mr. Uti, but something must be investigated in retrospect, Mr. Uti. There was a cup called Telkom Charity Cup.
Yeah.
Telkom Charity Cup, fans would vote, and the team with the most fans would play that competition, Mr. OT.
Yeah.
Teams like Kaizer Chiefs would play that competition. Teams like Little Tadova, Black Leopards would play that competition.
Amazulu.
No. Sigolele Sabasukular would play that competition. I'm talking about teams that played religiously.
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates would visit that competition. Mamelodi Sundowns would qualify as number one with the most supporters, the most votes, Mr. OT. Beating Kaizer Chiefs, beating Orlando Pirates, beating Siwelele, beating Little Tadova.
Yeah.
Mara, Miss Mamona. American Stadium, Mr. OT. American Stadium, we must investigate those votes about Mamelodi Sundowns. How was Mamelodi Sundowns qualifying for the Telkom Charity Cup?
Only 2,000 basta tipping or Telkom Charity Cup earring. But while I have you, here match. How do you feel about the chances of the two teams? How do you think the two teams should approach this game?
Undermine and disrespect my case at your own parents. And I say this from experience, Mr. Uti. We're going into the final with the cup already being engraved, Mamelodi Sundowns. I think the Ghana King, the guy who engraving the cup, is practicing how to write Mamelodi Sundowns on that cup. we've written off Marcus, but for some odd reason, I just want him to stop at MA. Whether it's Mamelodi Sundowns or Marcus, he must relax. Apparently, you go MA, Mr. Oti, because we've seen Pirates lose to Baroka in the final. We've seen Pirates lose to much lesser teams in the finals. And we've seen Mamelodi Sundowns lose to Bloemfontein Celtics in the finals. We've seen Kaizer Chiefs, as you said, some are young. We've seen. I think this is the cup where Kaizer Chiefs lost to Jomo Cosmos in the final. Coca-Cola Cup, yeah, cheers. I think you're on a Coca-Cola Cup.
But we came back. Cup. But we came back. The following year.
The following season. But I'm just saying, at some point, Mr. OT, when Jomo Cosmos had a very beautiful chase and a Mapola lies for me, they lost. They beat Kaizer Chiefs, Mr. OT, in the final. In Coca-Cola Cup. And Tabukule had to come back and restore parity the next season, Mr. OT. So it's possible. If Sundowns go into this final thinking they've won, they have another thing coming, Mr. OT. They must respect my case. Okay. I will be there hoping and praying for my case to pull out a miracle, Mr. OT. A rabbit out of the bag, Mr. OT.
Okay. Guys, who else wants to jump in? Finally, how are we looking at this game? Is there a chance for Makesi or Sundowns, or are they just going to walk over them?
Nah, I'm so happy at last the Makesi tlo kopana le Sundowns. E kopane le bona de Pagania se a kopana le rona. Ho sane ke tsatsi la Sundowns ene go bontsha gore ba tatazela ma Sundowns ha yo ka mo go tlo ipuelela but ka bona gore kapu ya kae ha e Mamelodi le
Tabi. Wa itshepa Makesi ore e tlo wina and e tlo wina jwang man ha idlala le Sundowns
e abduti like sa tshepe mang kapa mang mara ke tshepa goalkeeper Makesi e tla kgona ho etsa mosebetsi yona
Chipezeze
o tlo etsa motlo ho sane o ntse Chipezeze a tlo etsa a ke ba bona
Okay, Tabi. Kana Makesi ka dile neng go favor man. Ba bolelle hore ke gale o ilatela Makesi. Ba ska nagana hore o jumpa fela jwanong.
No, abana Makesi abana de e la kwalla batho milomnyana ka mona ka soweto ha ba control ne. Ya ila ka re ya hantle so. Wa bona ho sane. Ba le ba tshabang ho ya stadium ba le di pitbull. Tse tshaba stadium. Di tlo utlwa ka moya o sane.
Okay, Tabi. Guys, it's open. Guys, remember we are free here, but jump in. Kutile kopano. Akitsi if you wanna defend now or later, Humphrey.
With me actually, I believe ever since I was born, back in those 90s, I've been Makesi fan. I just knew it from the blood. So, I believe Makesi is gonna upset the nation tomorrow. They're gonna surprise everyone. They're gonna win that title. They're gonna win that World Cup. Yes. And one more thing, I believe maybe to do it, maybe Makesi they should deploy that Polokwane strategy. Yes, they should use that Polokwane strategy. I think they can surprise Sundowns. I mean, Sundowns in cup games they relax so much, and meaning since most of their team they were playing for the national team, maybe they are a bit fatigue might play the role as well. So, but then Makesi forward. As we go.
Mara, can I ask though? Sure. Makesi, I see Polokwane played Sundowns and they held them to again 0 shots, 0 attempts for 80 minutes. Mara, Makesi, even when they go play against other teams, hey, it's tibang that the back. There's the reason why Chipezeze is man of the match every game that they play.
And up to Sundowns on Saturday. the players tsa Sundowns ha di a tlwaela ho utlwa modumo wa stadium, so ke a ba tshepa ma Freestata yeso, ke a ba tshepa bo Blawam ba lo tlatsa stadium. Sundowns ha ilo bona next tla be le dis.
Yeah. Mara
Ba support batho bano.
ke sa ke botsa Humphrey hore Magesi concede so many shots, man. Can they survive?
I think definitely they can survive. I mean, this thing is simple. You don't need to play fancy football, nice football. You don't even need to have a shot on target. You just deploy that strategy of 1-10-1. You know, we are not moving, and they hope for the penalties. I mean, people say he's a good thing for the penalty. So I believe in
can I
him.
just say, one of the best teams we've ever seen in our lifetime concedes the most shots. I'm talking about Real Madrid. Mr. OT. Coach about 10 saves in one game. So in my case, you have Real Madrid, Mr. OT. And then the Minister of Energy and Electricity. People must recode their boxes, their meters. Otherwise, they will lose. When you record, you look at Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm going to survive. Case, my case.
Oh, should la Orlando, but my illegal connection. Munangiza jalo me.
That's not record our case. I'm going to Sundowns record this
time. So how do we feel, guys? Feel free, jump in. Hey, Jamba.
Yeah, right. Things, load shedding stage 5, because this thing of Mageza, we don't see it, and we're not afraid because we have done well against small teams, unlike other teams that they lose against colleges. We don't want to mention their names. So, but we are not afraid. We are ready. We are prepared. We just don't like to talk a lot for now, but we're going to implement load shedding. Then all the talk will be.
So then, what's the plan? What's the plan to implement load shedding? Because if Magesi comes out in a low block, what is Sundowns going to do? A 10-1, as Humphrey said. What's going to happen there? Especially also knowing that in Magesi, they only need 2 shots. Magesi, as much as they concede, or not concede, as much as they face shots and things like that, they just need two on the counter, and they score those goals. The Sundowns need to be worried about those type of things.
OT, let me come in first.
Yeah.
No, thanks, man, for this wonderful platform. You know, I hear people confused here. They are talking about the final tomorrow. You can sense fear, even from Soweto United. Now it's the final tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Relax, guys. Now we are relaxed. We're waiting for Saturday. We are driving to Blom. You guys are still confused. You are thinking we are playing tomorrow. No. Okay, Oti, let me answer your question.
Yeah, don't put us into it, Tina. Prior and Churena. We've been praying for 3 weeks now. Please leave us out.
Can I just say the reason why we are saying tomorrow is because we are hosting a night vigil. One of the matches. So from tomorrow, we are just waiting for Sundowns to come, and we are ready.
And it is because of show ya rona hangata ene le Fridays, so we think it's a Friday today, so up to weekend ntsang kopanya dihlo somewhere somehow, but how na taba Saturday ke a tseba Sundowns e hlwa ke crowd hampe ke se etse nix,
and it's a quality right now as we speak.
No, but let me kopano.
Una crowd ya Masele ase Bloemfontein o bonagana ya Orlando Pirates o bonana bale ba etsang di sold out Tina Makhosi.
Exactly.
Let's let Kopano finish, guys.
This is how much guessing will be coming for you.
No, relax, guys. You guys need to relax. You must sit down and drink cold water and relax. And let us feed you with these things of finance. So, OT, listen, my friend. I'm saying the strategy is clear. You know, there's been a lot of things happening. We're fighting against Junos, freelancers, and everything. You know, we're fighting against Soweto United. So, I'm just saying, the strategy is clear.
Mm.
We are launching high octane football on Saturday.
Mm.
It's born. We are launching Project Obas, Project Mokwena. So I'm just saying, Magis should just know that they can't sit and wait for us to play. Ribeiro is gonna find those spaces.
Yeah.
Sitting, you can't sit. You've seen what we've done against Kaizer Chiefs. Those shots on target from our number 10. If you give him the space, I've seen how they defend, and I think one of the sides that we're going to use is that side Abraham, who was playing for Tuks last season.
Yeah,
Because that
Delano.
guy that guy I think is defensively is not quite good, but offensively because they play on the counter, right? So I think if we're going to bombard that side with Ribeiro or maybe a Reyners or a Shaluli, then that's where we're gonna hit them most. But I'm not too worried about Magis. And I think one of the things that we need to be careful with is their physique and the middleman. If there's a way of losing tomorrow, you will see Akona. You haven't seen her OT for the longest time, but don't be surprised tomorrow you'll be seeing VAR through Shiref Akona. Just know that's how you're gonna lose the game. But yeah, that's just it. Tomorrow,
Can I ask you? Makesi have a strong wide game. So for me, there's two ways that Makesi attacks. They attack on a counter, they sit back, they absorb. Chip does what he does. The team gets frustrated, pushes people forward, and then they hit you on the break. They try making it a 3v2, 2v1, those type of things. They cross the ball. There's a man there in the box. I don't know why I'm blanking his name now, but there's a man there in the box, Umokone, who finds that header more often than not. Is Mamelodi Sundowns capable of stopping that type of play if they were to go there? Because I raised this because Mokone has found form in doing that type of thing. And Royal AM, if I'm not mistaken, towards the end of the game that you guys played versus Royal AM, Royal AM was pumping in crosses and every cross looked dangerous. There was one that almost made it 2-2. How do you feel about that part of the game? Guti, now you're going to be playing guys who are crossing and maybe who are waiting for you guys to maybe make the mistakes yourselves.
Yeah. So OT, if you watched the EFL final against Wydad, you realize that the game plan was that throwing the crosses. That's what you're talking about now. So I think if Sundowns approaches that game as a CAF away game, right, whereby people are going to use aerial superior against you. As you know, if you're going with Libusa tomorrow, you might then become shaky because aerially he used to be superior, but now it's a bit shaky. But I'm just saying it's one of the things that Coach Mangoba is well aware of. So I think tomorrow the game will be look out for those things with Mbala and Kekana in defense. So I think one of the approaches to the game is gonna be approaching it through the mentality of a CAF away game. If you saw what we did against Wydad, we dealt with it very well, and we had Libusa and Mbala, just like I'm quoting now. Yeah, so I think it's not gonna be easy because they are physical, they are tall. I saw their number 2; he's very tall, but I think like Coach Mangoba said during his presser that he has studied everything. So I think it's gonna be easy if we have the game plan and we don't necessarily downplay what they're doing. Understand? So I think if we approach this game not as a league game or a domestic game, but as a CAF away game, or how we approached the EFL final, because that's what.
Busy guy study more now. Rulani took all 5 laptops with him to Wydad. So I can say more study shying. Let me just
in the words of a famous boxer who is now found on YouTube fixing matches, everyone has a plan until I hit them. So I'm going to make game plan.
This is what I want to ask. Prasam, I'm sorry to bring this up, Rasem. Kenya, I'm sorry. Makesi, highly sharper 3-2. They started attacking. They were very aggressive. The first part of that game. Do you think that play now we come versus Sundowns or Sundowns or we're gonna go attack? All of a sudden, Makesi 1-2 fast.
Never. Never. I'll give you the score for free. Tomorrow, 7-6, magazine not.
6.
No, 6-7. I think I'm going to they will see something they will see something they never saw in their life.
Yeah.
So no, that's going to no.
So when I won next, I won the chance for Makesi to win this game.
Please don't chance.
Membership, please terminate it immediately. I don't think we are working hard. When you are
you know, I just want to remember
sorry, Gucci Marano. Sorry, Gucci Marano.
The job is to me, yeah. It's not to be objective. It's not to be rational here. It's not to assess anything. Whenever you're here,
win at all costs. Humphrey, you wanted to come in there?
Yes, I wanted to remind the members. I don't know which year, just maybe a few years back, when actually Varoka, which I'm so happy they're not relegated. They were giant players. I remember they beat everyone. They even beat Pirates for the penalty.
Yeah.
So I think this is the same story. It just goes there. I mean, they eliminated Pirates, and now they are at the finals. I mean, it's the same story. Chipezeze was there. I hate that man. But then, hey, tomorrow is the Jesus, eh? He's the Jesus tomorrow, and I believe he's gonna do justice.
Yeah.
But
Humphrey, can I ask? Is there a world where Makesi is positive?
Definitely. I mean, it's like I said previously, you deploy Simone, the manager for Atletico's tactics. Hey, you don't need to go bound to bound with Sundowns. Makesi, the mistake that they should not do is to deploy the tactics of the people. That team just won the Wood just last week. So they should not deploy those tactics. So I heard the member talking about Ribeiro's gonna get a free chance. No, not with Simone's tactics. Simone's tactics, we are not going anywhere. We are just sitting here. Yeah, just one chance we score, we sit back. That's it.
So then, Malume Kutso, can I ask you? Is there a world where Makesi comes out and says, maybe we can shock them early on? Game positive. Early, then go into defense mode. Is there a world where that could work versus Sundowns?
The world is called planet Earth. The world has a location called Gauteng, where you find the Paris and the Chiefs. The world has a province called Free State. The world has a place called Mangaung, Bloemfontein. This is the world. This is the world where Makesi shocks everyone, Mr. OT. This is the world where Makesi comes out victorious and goes down in the history books as a team that is less than 2 years old, but comes out victorious and lifts the trophy, Mr. OT. If you look at the colors of Makesi, Mr. OT, Sundowns has trauma with similar colors. Sundowns has lost a couple of matches in cup competition in recent history against those very colors. Sundowns has trauma against a blackish looking color and a whitish looking combo. We've seen Sundowns lose to Stellenbosch. We've seen Sundowns lose numerous times, I think about 3 to 4 times against Orlando Pirates. So my guess will be carrying the hearts, the souls, the spirits, and the wishes of Orlando Pirates supporters as well as Kaizer Chiefs supporters, excluding Osem, of course, as he has shown himself with you, and he's not serious about supporting Orlando Pirates. But with that being said, Mr. OT, you look at a player like Umakubu, if we take it to analysis, Mr. Uti,
Mm.
Kana has been bullied a couple of times over the past few weeks, Mr. Uti.
Yeah.
If he's gonna come up against a strong player like Umakubu, Mr. Uti, or was a defender, he might have problems, Mr. Uti. The
Yeah.
only issue is how does Magesi stop that that wrecking ball for 90 minutes?
Mm.
That is the only issue, Mr. Uti. And it's possible, Mr. Uti, if they can have Uripero out like we did, Mr. Uti. Employ whatever tactics to have Uripero out. Game. These guys are from Limpopo, Mr. Uti. If you catch my drift, if they can hlanganisa a thing or two, a herb or two to make sure that Uripero does not finish that game, then they have a chance.
I don't know what to say.
No.
Mara,
Let's itsuile ka nnete le yona e ema ke la bona go sangulile o tsola ta box ya mollo nowadays la mona wa performa matsatsinya.
No man, Shalule has been trying to resuscitate Tabaya matches. We are bambuya here lo matches law. I think the matches law Koni matches was cool now, Mr. Utibati Lion. But
yeah.
these days, when I'm matches but I'm wrong. But I'm matches but I'm cheetah. You catch my drift. Any pass shop was value with Mr. OT. They have 21 days to register. I got to happy life, Michelle.
Mara, you guys are the worst. You guys are the worst. Okay, can I ask this question then? Open question. How important is this trophy for Coach Mangoba? As we know, Coach Mangoba has been under pressure. Sundowns fans sometimes bamfila, sometimes abamfili. Would this help with anything with Coach Mangoba? Does he need to win this? Does it matter?
Yes, definitely. Definitely he has to win. Because if he doesn't win, no excuse. They must make sure that they win this cup, or else they're going to compel coach by Monday.
Can I just say, oddly from me,
yeah.
But I really think there's no pressure to win this cup on Coach Mangoba. I don't know. I'm picking up a sense of I mean, it's not even sold out. That would have been step one to show Witty these people want this cup. I understand which Abana or maybe I'm a supporter to sell out.
That was sold out to you. The only way is for us to go there.
Hear me out. In as much as Sundowns does not have the supporters to sell out stadiums, they have this dark arts that speak of that they can somehow rent a crowd, to fill up these stadiums. We've seen it before. They can somehow add sweeteners for people to come and see.
Can I tell you the secret? Can I tell you the secret? Yeah, that filling up stadium goal of Trump.
Oscar allegedly.
What I'm saying is, they can just say, if you want to come to the stadium, come wearing yellow, we will give you a ticket. We've already bought 20 or 20,000.
No.
You know, man, Sundowns, they have a way of doing this. But what I'm getting
there is that university UP behind Loftus. They go there, they give them tickets. Marako go to Toyota Stadium. I don't know if there's a university where they will go to, because those students will have free time right stadium, but then on a student, it will be a challenge.
That is exactly what I'm referring to. You should see Orlando Pirates versus Mamelodi Sundowns. These Sundowns guys, they come in their ventures and vehicles, They try to come to Orlando, Mr. Uti.
Ventures and vehicles.
They always have a decent crowd. Instead of 57, they'll rock up with Boma 67, Like,
Humphrey Copado,
they have a way of making these things.
They'll be coming to watch the big team play. They're not coming for their team. They'll be coming for us, to be honest. Why? Why it's like go give me Paris? That's like go give me one.
That is exactly my point. That is exactly my point to say they usually have ways when they're interested in a certain outcome. But with this one, we've seen, we were talking about it in the group that even the algorithm game, they're not even locking into it to motivate supporters. They really don't care. You know, I used to think they are lying when they say they don't care about cups. But in this regard, I'm starting to feel like they really don't care, Mr. Uzi.
But then, besides Sundowns, I more want to know about the Mangoba part of this. Does it help his image? Does it help them like him better? Because you still have a bit of and the Sundowns guys can jump in and defend, but does it help him look a little better to the Sundowns fans? Because it feels like Liena, he's one bad result away from trending for the wrong reasons or being looked at a certain way.
But Mr. Uzi, I can see upside down or what's happening. They're not saying anything. And then they're not scared of my case. As I was saying. So the way you want to thing, Mr. OT, the pressure from the interacting management in terms of exhibitions says Coach Mangoba is safe whether he wins it or not. For me, that's what I'm getting with you. Whether Coach Mangoba loses, whether Coach Mangoba wins, maybe it would be how he loses it. If he loses it for Madrid, then he's out. But if he loses Gary penalty, I foresee him having a press conference saying, what a team. They did it against Pirates, they did it against Chiefs, and now they've done it against Sundowns. They deserve it. And life goes on thereafter, Mr. Oti. We've had instances where Coach Micho lost to Baroka. I think a loss is heavier when it's against a proper rival, Mr. Oti.
Okay.
When it's against these smaller teams, man, because there's no noise for the rest of the week or there's limited noise, then your job is not really in jeopardy, man, Mr. Oti. I mean, I see Coach Mangoba retaining his job after losing this Saturday.
Okay. I want to ask Humphrey. We know what Coach Rulani did last season. We know that he almost went invincible, AFL, semi-finals of the CAF Champions League. Does this trophy help Coach Mangoba make his case? Because it still feels like there's a little bit of pushback. Does it help later on in the season when he also puts together his thing to say, hi man, guys, but I won the Carling knockout, as one of the things I did? Or does it not matter at all?
Uti, ne? Hola. Hello?
Oh, Tabeleng. Okay, Tabeleng, jump in.
Naju, one thing I can say about this, ne, as much as they call it a small trophy, I think it determines the season for them. If he loses it, it's more pressure on. They're playing on Tuesday. Remember, they're playing CAF. So he loses Saturday. It's a matter of, is he the right person for the job? And if he loses Saturday and he loses the first game at CAF, what happens? I think that as much as we can say it's not pressure, it is pressure, because this guy, he's up against people who were playing the final. They won trophies last year. As much as they won the league, they won the AFL. He needs to prove, because he failed the MTN8. He failed the Carling Black Label, and then he loses his first game. CAF pressure already. He goes away, and he's playing against the big Raja Casablanca at some point in December. So if he loses on Saturday, he loses or gets a draw on Tuesday. Hey, changes the whole thing, because he plays Raja Casablanca or CAF next. So what happens? Do they keep him? I think it's pressure, bro. Because winning the trophy sets the mood for Tuesday. It sets the mood of saying, okay, we're gonna play against Maniam, whatever it's called, and then we're gonna win because we just came from a trophy. They lose, it's that thing or Baba, what you call it. They are scared or afraid to even lose the second game Tuesday. So I think it's pressure. As much as we can try to whatever, if Sundowns might actually play a brilliant game but lose because of the pressure they're facing.
Do you think that pressure might influence the result? So Makesi, if we speak about Makesi, is Makesi under pressure? Is Clinton Larson under pressure? Maybe separating the two. And when they come into this game, does the pressure that Coach Mangoba and Sundowns, but that they might be under, does that help Makesi?
That benefits Makesi full on, because of now, if you're Clinton, you're thinking we can defend against them, and we show the defenders of Sundowns are slow. Frustrate Sundowns as long as you can, and then you wait. The pressure will give in. It will give in at some point, because as much as it's a final, they need to close this game as soon as possible so that they can prepare for Tuesday also. So it's not as it looks for me, as I say. It's just a matter of saying, all right, now what happens if he loses on Saturday or he wins Saturday? I think it sets the mood, and obviously it looks like they're gonna win in a way, but you never know with these cup games. But he's under pressure. Clinton he's just trying to find 1 note or 2 note, and he's good.
But
So
but I want to separate it. But I hear it. Clinton Larson, we know, old school coach. He was here a while ago, in 2012. Hasn't been in the PSL like that for a while now. Coming back in, how much does this final play on his mind? As somebody now, he's staring a final in the face. Maybe the idea of it being something that I don't know, that my sekhwa is leading me. Something that validates him. Something that validates him. Yes.
We have to be realistic, they have achieved everything so far, because a final first season in the league, in the top flight league, final calling black label, get the bonus already. For them, it's just a matter occasion. You're going to the occasion to have fun. I doubt it's that thing of saying you're under pressure of winning it. Yes, everyone wants to win a final, but you're playing against one of the best teams in Africa, one of the best teams. So if I'm Clinton, I say keep the same strategy. We lose 5-0, we lose 5-0. We lose 4-0, we lose 4-0. But boys, that first season, you reach the final. What more do you need as a club owner? Hey, I mean, even Richards Bay couldn't do that. So you already have achieved the goal. All you just need is get the money finally, and then also just make sure you don't get relegated. Next season, we move forward. Find a way to keep ourselves top 5, top 10. We continue. You see, if they were to become too ambitious, if Clinton was to say, hey, I've been gone from the league for the longest of times, and he becomes too ambitious and thinking, all right, he can win the trophy. That's where the problem starts. Yes, you can, but don't go that as your main focus. Just go there thinking, I can frustrate Sundowns, play them, keep my thing, but I know they have the quality to open me up. My question, Lorna, is if they can attacking wise, you can't question Magaze. I think we have seen it. My question, Lena, I still go with I would if they can continue, they can contain what you call Sundowns. If they can, they have a 50-50 chance of winning this game.
Let me go to Humphrey. Can you just speak to me about the psychology of the coaches? I want to know about the coaches, because we know where the teams are sitting. I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns hasn't won a domestic trophy outside of the league for a couple of years now. So I don't know if it's a must win. But when you look at Ukosh Mangoba and his situation, it may be a must win for him on the one side. And then on the other side, Makesi coming into this game also, they may be thinking to themselves, guys, we've ticked the boxes, man. We've gone as far as maybe anybody would have thought we would go. But then maybe in Coach Larson's mind, he goes, hi, man, guys, mina ngay win Lento 2012. I've been in the wilderness for a while. I want to come and win this game, so maybe to prove something. And that could be his downfall, let's say. Can you speak to that thing, man, the headspace of the coaches?
All right. With Mangoba, Mangoba comes into Sundowns with all the pressures. I feel like maybe some of the members, most supporters, they feel that Mangoba is not really like Rulani. He can't do what they maybe, he can't achieve what they expect. So I feel like if Sundowns does win the trophy, that eases up the pressure on Mangoba, right? So now, even if he goes further into CAF, and let's say he semi-finals, at least there's like, okay, you won something. Maybe if he wins the league, they retain him. But then if he loses this, Imagine the pressure. It's just gonna be too much. I mean, you lost Magezi, you lost MTN, you lost CAF. I mean, these are losses, sharp. So it becomes very, 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 very. I don't think if he loses this final, because I don't think Sundowns can win CAF. I don't think so. Maybe in 2 years' time, maybe. So I think if he wins this and he wins the league, maybe they might consider him to stay. But then the pressure is too much on Sundowns. Not just Sundowns, but then Manova psychological, because everyone is assessing him. They think maybe he's not he's not good enough, because there were some rumors that Sundowns might be interested in Benny, maybe bring some European coach as well, like Benny. Although Benny is out of foot, but then he was at United as well. The experience, right? So now with Clinton lesson. So two things happens with Magezi for me, how I see it. If Magezi wins the cup on Saturday, then I mean, I feel like the players might be very satisfied. They're like, we have done it this season, and they might even get relegated again. I mean, the season just began. Or the second thing, if they lose, I mean, they still get the motivation. Oh, if we reach there, maybe we can go forward. Here again, for me, I believe Romanova needs to win this for him to win the confidence of the supporters, Sundown supporters, to win maybe the trust, maybe the confidence from the board again. And I believe that.
If I can just jump in and give my thoughts. Look, for me, I think that is a very interesting question to ask about where the coaches are in this. I understand that Magezi is not necessarily going to go out and be expected to go win this game. It will be, if Magezi wins this game, it will be an upset. So I don't think they're going into pressure team-wise. But as a coach, I mean, we've seen Abokabo Zondo come back into the league and not make an impact. We saw Abo coach Mangoba himself win it, Ngabo Golden Arrows, and maybe not get a sniff of the same type of success until he went to an institution similar to his Sundowns. So what I'm thinking is there a place where Clinton Larsen maybe starts thinking that way about this, that, you know, the same way that sometimes pressure can eat you, but going into the game and saying, yeah, man, Yazi, I've guided this team in, we've gone to the final, I want to go win this thing. Maybe it changes how he thinks about the game. Similar to Ukosh Mangoba, who I believe, and Sundowns fans on TikTok and on YouTube, maybe you guys disagree, but I believe that Ukosh Mangoba has never been looked at as the guy, as the coach of the team. I think he's still in a place with the Sundowns fans specifically and people where it's almost like he has to prove himself. And I wonder if the proving himself comes into these games knowing that, okay, Rulani went to the finals, didn't get a win, got beaten by Pirates in I believe it was 2 finals, got beaten by Pirates, finally won the AFL. But does that thing play on his head to say, in order for me to be different to these people, maybe I do need to go win this final? And how does that influence your decision making? Because the one thing I want to speak about, the people are on, you can jump in. I don't know if Lulu's going to join. She usually listens, but it's fine. The one thing I want to speak about is with the Mamelodi Sundowns, when now we're analyzing the Sundowns and a weakness they have. Sundowns in the last 25 to 30 minutes of games tends to lose control of the game. Now, for the most part, they do their job early, and then later on, when these teams are starting to get hyper, they've already covered that base. But if you look at the game versus Marumo Gallants, even though Gallants won 4-1, the last 30 minutes, Gallants was playing. Yeah, Williams, I think, made 2 or 3 saves in that last time. You look at Royal AM, last 30 minutes, they started playing. Williams had to jump in, and they scored the 1 goal, could have made it 2-2. You look at the game, you look at the games that they've played versus the Polokwane City, for example. Polokwane City holds out, 82nd minute, they're able to win something there. What do you guys feel about that last 30 minutes for Sundowns, and does that give Magezi an opportunity?
Definitely. I think it's a mentality thing within teams. You see, I think what you're saying is most teams, maybe Sundowns, they're able to get their job done much earlier. Then on the last dying minutes of the game, they tend to switch off a bit or relax. But then that's it. I don't think I think that's what they've been lacking. Maybe even in CAF, why they haven't been winning it.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at teams like Real Madrid and City, Liverpool, and even Pirates lately. The last 25 minutes of the game or 15 minutes, they are so important. So if maybe let's say you are trailing 1-0, and then now we are entering those last dying minutes, and then that's where your weakness is, and then you see you can't survive. And Pirates, I remember there were a few years back again. Sorry to talk about Pirates again. They were able to play only 45 minutes. You see, 45 minutes, and then the last 45 minutes, meaning they are going to concede, they are losing the game. City versus Brighton played brilliant 45 minutes. Second half, Manchester City, they look lost. They lost the game. So I think even my case, if they are able to contain Sundowns, just contain them. Then on the last dying minutes of the game, they go all out. I believe they can get it. They can get something, definitely.
Yeah, well, but Humphrey, in your analysis, what causes the problem for that last 30 minutes for Sundowns? Is it a tactical problem? Is it an attitude problem? What is it that makes that last 30 minutes a vulnerable time for Mamelodi Sundowns?
I think it goes back to when you get used to winning games much earlier, right? You get used to, like, when it hits 60-minute mark, you're leading 3-0. I mean, the players get to relax. Maybe the coach taught them, when we enter those last 10 minutes, you guys already won. Maybe you can relax. So that affects the mental. Even in serious games, their mentality is no longer there. So I just think that's a mentality thing. So they don't have it yet. The last dying minutes moments, they don't have it currently. In Betway Premiership, I think the team that I saw that they have the mentality, even though they are down, that they can go and try to win. I think it has been Pirates. I think they have done that couple of games. They won at the last dying minutes. I think that's the reason why Pirates beat Sundowns in those finals, because Sundowns just switches off. When they switches off in those dying minutes, Pirates comes in, they score, they win. Now, it's the same thing, Marcus. Just have to understand. Contain them, last 10 minutes, go all out, you can get something. That's how you can beat Sundowns. But then, pound
it's
to
a
pound,
tough thing to do,
never
but that's a tough thing. It's not easy.
It's not easy because Sundowns has quality players, to tell the truth. They have quality players. I think if they can manage to close down Ribeiro, I think they might get a chance, because that's their. Ribeiro makes he's the lead. He's leading the attacks. So you close him down, there's something.
Tell me about the last 30 minutes for Mamelodi Sundowns. What is it? I see in the comments somebody even added fitness. Is it fitness? Is it tactics? Is it attitude? What is it that has allowed not teams to come back and win, but they look better versus Sundowns in the last 20 minutes, when I counted from the 65th minute when the sub is made? When Mangoma starts making his subs, that's where it goes missing a little bit. What do you put it down to?
The problem, Oti, is that in the beginning of the season, remember the Polokwane City games? I actually thought the problem was the tactics, and like I felt maybe the players who are substituted for the players are not good enough, or maybe sometimes they are unable to keep the intensity going. But as I said, the last two games where they won, and especially in the CAF in the Black Label, it was different because they actually in a way finished the game earlier. So in a way, the season just started. You don't know whether to say it's the tactics or to even say, hey, Sundowns has a problem in the tactics. But I would say against Polokwane, it showed, man. If you can contain them and they continue playing that football, trying to push it up early, they start. I think it's fatigue in a way, and Lifokas is no longer the same way they were attacking because they were getting frustrated by Polokwane. And I remember like at that time they knocked out Polokwane in the beginning of the season. It was the same story.
It was a red card. It was a red card.
When police came on, it was a whole different ball game for them. They couldn't contain him that much. So my question is it a matter of tactics? I think that's where the season goes with me. But the last 2-3 games they've had it easy, whereby they've scored early and being able to kill the game off the way Rulani was doing it. Just move the ball around. If you get an opportunity, finish it off. So, but if the score remains 0-0 by the 60th minute, will they be able to do it? But I doubt. And if the score is 1-0, and if the score is 1-0 to them in the 60th, 70th minute, I still question if they'll be able to still contain the same pressure that they start with.
But I want to pull a string. Is the Polokwane City performance, let me say, tactical in nature? Is it a plan that they came with that everybody should copy? Or is it just maybe the case of Polokwane is a hoodoo team?
Actually, I wanted to come to that. You know, everyone keeps saying Polokwane, but this tactic came up young Africans came with that tactic against Sundowns, where they had a speedy player who is a false nine. I don't know whether he played a false 9 or a 9 who plays off a 9, a target man. So he would play. They had a tall number 9, and they had what was his name? Aziz, moving in between the center backs and the left backs. And Sundowns didn't like that. Bo Grand Kekana in that game considered more fouls. And that's when I said, in a way, to play against Sundowns, especially they know how to win the ball early, and they know how to keep you pinned in that 18 area, whereby after their center, they leave 2 center backs there most of the times. They just they come in 2 together as if it's a midfield. I don't know how it works, but it's always Grant and Mvala there. And Grant and Mvala, we all know they are not the fastest of players. And young Africans proved that day, there's a way to play against Sundowns. And after that, if you realize after that, most teams have always found a way to play against Sundowns in that manner. And I think if you are there and you're thinking Matupu is very good, you're thinking to yourself, okay, how do we play? We don't go straight up with them because obviously their left backs and right backs are one of the best in Africa. But the one thing, as much as the center backs, Savona deal good, they're not fast and they can't deal with pace. We have seen it with Libusa, we have seen it with Grant, we have seen it with Mvala. When they have 9 who's very fast, they can't catch up and it's a problem.
Okay. Let me see, Prasem, before I go to agent, Prasem, Kupuke Nemona man. 30 minutes of Sundowns, Pelalona, Litumeka Hushapa Sundowns the last minute. So, getting at Sundowns as somebody who's beat them in finals in that case, what is it about Sundowns, Kari last minute that they look weaker?
Maggie, we can just request us to play for them. We can do that with peace. Before you fly out, first half of us announce the Aju. But then, honestly, that's no. The reason why I think is that thing they apply out where they lose the ball is where they win the ball. You can't do that for the whole 90 minutes, to be honest. Then those ones that you put in, but basale dry, heated up. That's where they try to maybe substitution. They will take time to adjust to get to the rhythm because the other teams, I got the we're not that on the ball too much. All happy. We're just moving around, managing the spaces. And then you punish them. That's what we do. Little pass on the side. So agent to Agent Dango, welcome to the group, my brother.
Let me bring in agent. Let me bring in agent because I want to ask you two questions, agent, before we get into this one. We spoke briefly about the psychology of the coaches coming in, and particularly the coaches. What effect do you think the situations that the coaches are in will affect the game? So Umangoba, obviously we know he's not necessarily persona non grata, but it feels like, man, he has to earn his way. Kari has to he's still earning his way into Mamelodi Sundowns. People don't take him like that. Does that play into this final, knowing that Rulani couldn't win these trophies when he was here? Does it maybe change how he plays? And then if you look at Larson on the other side, old coach, he's been out of the top flight for a little bit. This maybe becomes a place where he proves to himself or proves to everybody that he still has it. Does that type of attitude coming into the game also maybe affect him and his preparation or his subs or things like that? What role will the psychology of the two coaches, the coaches specifically outside of the teams, play in this game? Before I ask you the second question. Welcome.
Good evening, gents. Yeah, no, I can hear that some people are wishing, Shame. They wish they could be in the final. Continue wishing, brother Sam. Continue wishing. You're allowed to wish. Psychology of the coaches. Let me start with Clinton Larson. The husk. I like his husk. Yeah, that's the first thing that I like about him. The husk.
Yeah.
And then I think he's best suited to motivate players. In the sense that he has done it before. Not just in previous seasons, but even this season. You know, he's been able to face Goliaths, two of them, and none of them has defeated him. So he's best placed to talk about beating a Goliath, you know, and he has the technical ability to beat a Goliath, you know. And to beat Sundowns, he has the experience. I think he can tell them that, guys, I'm the one guy that has handed Sundowns one of his biggest losers, you know, that 5-0 driving by Bloemfontein Celtic. It was coached by him, you know, so he knows how to beat Sundowns, the name Sundowns at least. So he can tell the players that, look at our squad, still one of the most expensive, it was everything, and I still managed to beat them, you know. So he has, I think he has the capability and he has the technical know-how of how to beat a Sundowns, how to beat a Goliath.
Yeah.
Past season and this season. So I think the players are willing to listen to him a bit more, you know. And he doesn't have to go far and say, but look at what TS Galaxy once did to a Chiefs. You know, you're able to do this kind of things, you know. This Sundowns team is not invincible. Look at what Stellenbosch did to them. Look at what Polokwane did to them, you know. It's not an invincible team. You know, look at Gallants also in the first game played much better. It was a tighter game, you know. So this Sundowns team is not invincible, you know. So I think he has, in terms of the psychology of players, I think he's best suited for this occasion. And then
does he have something to prove as an outcast coach, sort of?
I don't think he has anything to prove, to be honest with you. I think he's got to want to win it. I mean, when you're in a final, you might as well win it, you know, but I don't think it would be, how can I put it? It would be a great achievement, but I don't think losing would be something to reflect upon and frown upon, you know. It's going to be a case of, boys, we did well, we beat Cup favorites Paris, we go to the finals.
Can I disturb you a bit?
Yes.
This is the only cup you have to win, my friend. After this one, I want to cup with the winner, so you have to. Don't come here and say, well, now you don't have to win. If you don't win this one, it's shy. You're out.
No, you know, you know, you're allowed to.
Okay, I will remind you.
Yes, I like to be reminded. But coming back to the question, I don't think a loss would be great, but if a loss wouldn't be bad. Is that kind of situation?
Oh,
I
a
don't know
win
if I'm
would be
making
great.
sense.
Okay.
Yet, so I think it is that case for Clinton Larson. Now on the flip side, Umangova, yes, he has to win the cup, because one of the big criticism of the Sundowns that they've been failing to win cup finals. In fact, this is, if he wins, this is going to be the first final we win ever since he was a co-coach. So that can give him some bit of credit. The fan base and say, but actually, it looks like this guy was not who was behind us winning the cup finals, was actually rulani. So I think he might get some leverage in that discussion.
It doesn't have the PR, agent. It doesn't have the PR, man. He needs to hire people to start the narrative.
I know he doesn't. He's old school, man. He's old school. He still believes in analog and everything. But some of us, his people who are defending him as a Sundowns coach, not necessarily him as a person, we are able to bring in those kind of things. But looks like your boy Coach Rulani couldn't win finals. Look at this one, he can win finals, local finals, that is. So it can elevate him to a certain level. And I liked how he defended Teboho. In the sense
he's learning. He's learning, agent.
He was lying. He lied. It was a blue lie when he said the question was about spectators. The question wasn't about spectators, but he just went with the Tebza line that the Tebza line went with, So I think that can win Tebza over, because we do need to win Tebza over, otherwise we might as well release him, So I think slowly but surely, the ways that he said that I am a father to you guys, I'm going to treat you like my sons. My sons do mistakes, I punish them, then we become friends again.
Yeah.
So I think that pushes that narrative, So I think, because I think the players now are adopting from my buddy in Coach Rulani to my father in Coach Steve, So I think a win can further, if there's cynics or those who didn't believe in him within the group can start believing in him, that, okay, actually, this guy has been bringing us this far. Yeah.
Tell me about the last 30 minutes of games. We've spoken about this on the show while we are live. What happens to Sundowns in those last 30 minutes? And do you think it's a psychological? Do you think it's a fitness? Do you think it's a tactical problem? Is it subs? How do you explain what happens there? And it's not to say that they lose all their games, but man, there's a measure of control that goes missing.
I've been hearing you guys mentioning it, but actually I think the answer is very simple. It's the football we play. We play high-intensity football. Can you maintain that for 90 minutes? You can't. Remember, under Coach Rulani, the one thing that we did under Coach Rulani was be able to conserve energy. It's something that Pirates are leading this year.
Save the battery until you need to throw the kitchen sink.
You get, so that's what we have. Nowadays, you can even see when you're leading 3-0, Coach Mangoba still wants you to play hard. He doesn't want useless passes going back. He still wants you to go forward and forward. How long can a normal body do or take, And mind you, the body is adopting from slow games to high intensity games. So the progression of the body is going to take long. I think maybe next year you won't see that thing, because I think the body have adapted to it, So I think right now it's just the case of adaptability of the body towards the football we play, So yeah.
I wanna jump in on that point. I think it just comes down to how Sundowns chooses to consolidate games. The argument that people were making under Coach Rulani, I remember the 2-2 semi-final versus, was it Wydad? It was Wydad, versus Wydad, where everybody was screaming to Coach Rulani, "Hey, fagit defender, man. Valumnyango, Kia, please. We need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves here." I think that is carried over to Coach Mangoba in a different way. And for me, it lies in the way that he makes his subs. I think Coach Mangoba makes subs to keep the tempo high. And instead of making subs to, okay, we've done the job, can we relax now? As in, guys, you've scored your 3 goals. Let's consolidate, even if it means not defending, but let's allow Ronwen to hold the ball. Let's allow Ronwen to hold the ball. Let's pass it around at the back. Let's do the 1,000 pass rulani thing at the end of games, just so that we can conserve. But what happens is when the players come onto the pitch for Mamelodi Sundowns in the last 30 minutes, Mkhulise wants to score. Litlhako wants to score. Allender is now left in the middle alone, but he's also now relaxed. He's kind of what's the word that Kumo uses. I'll find it, but he's basically relaxed. He's taking it for granted. And they start pushing all of the subs. All of them want to go score, and they leave so many spaces that now it becomes a tennis game. So I think that's something they need to look out for. Now, I'm not going to say that it's a weakness that may cause them to lose this game versus Imakesi. It's not a fatal weakness, as I put it, but there's been close shaves. How do we feel, everybody, about Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of conceding? This is, as Agent always puts it, it's a high risk, high reward type of system. Can it be sustained as a system for the whole season? That you might score a lot of goals one day. Some days you might concede 1 or 2 that changes the result. How do you guys feel about the ability of Sundowns? And again, this is not necessarily to say that Makesi will do this, but how do we feel about Sundowns conceding goals? Anyone can jump in, guys. Hey man, let's have a coffee. What's happening, guys? Can you hear me?
Okay, so
Hey man.
yeah. No, I thought I just got in first, so I thought someone would get in. But anyways, no, it's not an issue. Football is simple. Outscore your opponents. You know, something football is prevent your opponent from scoring. But out from a speed of 26, just score more than the opponent. You know, and this was my criticism with Coach Rulani, and it's my criticism with Pirates now. I know they're going to take me, but that's fine. And that a time is going to come when that 1-0 is not sufficient.
Yeah.
What then? Because the muscle memories used to score only 1. You know? So you see Sundowns is used to scoring 4-4-4. The moment they don't score more, it goes down to 2. It's still 5.
Yeah.
But when you're used to scoring 1, the moment you're having an off day, you don't score. So what happens in that instance? So I don't see it as a problem. You know, I think it's just the case of, like I said, the players will get used to it. Yeah. And we have a Ronwen who's able to cover the players in terms of the high line. And one of the most interesting things about this team is it's not conceding as many fouls
as they used to. Yeah.
You know? So that has always been something that has scratched my head with, because under this system I expect more yellow cards because we don't have control of the ball most of the time. You know? So it's a head scratcher for me. And Rulani had more of the ball, more of the possession, but still committed high fouls. You know, our rest defense was better, everything was better, but still you consider more fouls. So yeah, so somehow the system is obviously no system is bulletproof, but this system you will get chances. And when you have chances, that's what you have to keep up for, and that's why he's Africa's number 1, hopefully. We can get there, you know. So yeah, I have no problem with it, in short. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else want to jump in on that one? So I'm gonna open it up, guys. Feel free. I've been guiding the convo. What do you guys want to touch on for this game? What do you want to touch on that maybe we haven't spoken about? Evan,
what's
happening?
Never give man. Sorry, man. Ish.
Okay.
So agent,
Yeah.
so agent Ariana. What an agent? Agent Raymond.
I run it up as long as they outscore them, man.
Oh. That game is an obvious game for Sundowns to win, to be honest. But now, my games, but with nothing to lose. The topic that we can talk about now is the tactical approach. Magis.
Okay.
Sundowns that approach your pressure high, and I saw this thing happening in Kaizer Chiefs game. Look on it. So they press you high. Why? And those teams, they keep on trying to play from the back, knowing very well, Robona, they're not good. They don't do these things when they're playing against their peers. Why do you want to force it against Sundowns and they punish you? And they punish them all the time. Why? Because if you can see with us, we don't play from the black when we play against Sundowns. Because we know those guys who are playing in front, they'll always press you. And they'll press you with aggression. And one day, not worrying, they lose a ball. And once you lose it, they got you what they want you. So I'm against they should just play route one, why? And then play 8 men behind the ball. Leave 2 for Bailey, those who can try to trouble Sundowns on counters. I think that's where they can get a chance. This thing out of one, they'll try to play smart and try to be like Sundowns. They don't work, to be honest.
So, okay, let's talk about the approach. How should Makese approach this game?
I think the first approach, go there early, score your goals, and wait for Sundowns to come and start the match. I think that's the only way I see this game going. But I think for me, you have to be clinical. That's the only approach that you can hope for. I think we are conveniently ignoring the fact that this Magisi team, they can score goals, but they're conceding goals. Chiefs doesn't score a lot of goals, but against Magisi, they're able to get 2. Pirates don't score a lot of goals nowadays, but they're able to get 3 almost. So they have a mentality issue. I think the coach has to work on a mentality that once you concede 1, don't panic. Chipe says, that's your time to shine. That's your time. That's your time to shine. Fall down. Waste 10 minutes. That 10 minutes will be added, but it wouldn't have the same effect as the 10 minutes. Fall down, 5 minutes wasted. Even if it's added later on, it's not the same 5 minutes. People don't know that 5 minutes are different. There's different 5 minutes. So use that 5 minutes, stand down, let the team relax, let the coach organize, and again, if you see that, hi guys, we plan for Sundowns attack this way and this way and this way, that's what we planned for, but looks like they came up with a different approach. Keeper says, your time to shine. Sit down, 5 minutes, let the coach rethink, So I think Keeper says, for me, is the main guy that I'm looking out for. Keeper says, use your Keeper as a teams in this game. Yeah, because I think that's
but agent, can they survive? Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to ask Chippers to make 3 saves or 4 saves and then get man of the match. Mara Mangoba Sundowns is trying to kill you at every moment. The volume of shots and entries and what is likely going to go up.
Makezi e kora di goal tse sa utlwisiseng wa tsa sometimes tshele ha re se re di bona ha se re dutse fatshe. Let's hope gore ba tla otla 2 fela mono first 10 minutes mono no, and then ba be batho ba bang fatshe.
Also the trick in this game that I see that will happen. Sundowns will come full force. The first 20 minutes, my guess will be under attack. If they can survive that, I don't know by delay tactics or by what, fake injury or something, because Sundowns, they will come with Ribeiro, Matthews and Reyners if they are available. And those guys, they are fast, and they press with aggression. So if Magezi can try by all means to survive that, no, they'll have a good chance of scoring.
Makezi e hopole hore e supporta ke country right now. South Africa kaofela e eme against yona batho sa ba re ka le supporta we are here. And batho ba bang bona ha ba tlwaela lerata se ka lebala hore Sundowns yona lerata ba le tlwaela. So kaofela re tla re dutse mona re le behind Makezi. Makezi tla na o sebedisa this chance re etse happy.
Emma Phil, let me just let Agent finish the point he was making there. I'm gonna come to Humphrey.
When mothers speak, we have to obey. So yeah, no, but that's my point, that you see that you are facing a lot of shots. A goal is not key. Kill the momentum. As I'm saying, use your cheapest as within you. So sit down, let the coach, like I said, Coach Tinty Lassen is a very, very smart coach. I'm sure the first 20 minutes is gonna figure out how Sundowns is trying to kill him. So give coach the time to restructure and even make substitutions. And Coach Clinton shouldn't have an ego of saying that's what I planned for. If it's not working, change it. You have five substitutions. Use them. Even if the first 20 minutes you look like, looks like they're killing us out wide. Bring in another centre back. And mind you, there's this guy called I'm forgetting his name, Abraham something.
Oh, Dilano.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy is dangerous.
And he gave Sundowns trouble last season, even.
Magesi player there. I think we have to keep an eye on him because he cheats. The way he cheats is very interesting. He's played as a fullback, but he doesn't defend.
Yeah.
The winger is the one that comes back in defense, or the centre back comes back in defense. But the moment there's a counter, he's the first one to go there. And naturally he is a forward player. So I don't know how to explain this, but Kushinkichi Lassen has found a way of cheating with him, that you think he's a left back or whatever, full back, but in attacking he's the first person to get there. So I think he's one dangerous player. So for me, Abrahams and Chipezeze are the most influential player. And Chipezeze, like I said, waste time. Buy one plus they buy one get one free of Chiefs. He was the free one.
That guy's playing
and that's the thing with him, that you need Sam is reminding me of him. We actually forgot about him, because he's easily forgettable, but he's dangerous in the sense that he's off the game. He reminds me of, not in terms of ability, please don't quote me, not in terms of ability, but in terms of, not in terms of play or whatever, but in terms of how he works. He reminds me of Messi, the older version of Messi, in the sense that you won't see him being involved, built up.
Somebody else. Someone else.
I don't know who else to use, because Ronaldo is much involved in the play and everything.
Use one.
Can I talk? Because that also is involved. But what I'm saying is this.
I think
you are right, Uti.
No, but people will remember Messi, how Messi plays more. But Berbatov is fine. No, but still, even Berbatov sometimes gets deep and collects the ball. I don't want that. I want Messi. So you think that he's not in the game. He's working. He's like Kushmangoba said, he's very lazy. You see him working, not looking interested, like looking like he's lost and everything, So defenders have to switch on, because the moment the ball gets played up, his light switches on, and he attacks and uses aggression, and he uses the conserved energy to attack the team. So you have to be aware of that. You need Mvala or someone to keep an eye on him and his movements, because he'll just be strolling all around and you're forgetting, there's this guy. One moment he's the one who's hitting the ball, and Magesi balls or goals are the same. Wide, cross to the other side. So even Williams has to work on cutting the crosses, and Umodau and whoever, have to work on cutting, not allowing those crosses to come in, because those are the goals. So yeah.
Can I bring in Umhlave before I go to Harvey? Umhlave, welcome, Chief.
Sure, OT. How's it?
But I'm good, my brother. I'm good. I'm gonna first ask you for your general thoughts since you have just arrived. What are your general thoughts about this final? And then the question we're asking now is, what does Magesi have to do, man, to go win this game?
Yeah. Let me also greet everyone in the panel and everyone that is listening, and special greetings to the Yellow Nation, the incoming Black Label champions, the incoming Nedbank champions, the incoming Betway champions, the incoming Champions League champions, and the group stages FIFA Club World Cup participants.
But no, Mara, you're not even giving yourself last 16 yana.
Dumela member, those accolades are deserved. Dumela member. yo, member. No, we're gonna make it out from the group stages. OT with both Chelsea. I had we're in the same group with Chelsea. Hey, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, coming to the game Saturday, it's not gonna be easy. Magesi, they didn't come there by mistake to the final. They've beaten the Pirates, so they are a very good team. Coach Clayton is also a very experienced coach. He beat us in this cup final. When was Telkom, and also beat us with MTN 8 with that embarrassing scoreline that I don't want to mention. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's hope that the guys, the Bafana guys are back, and also there's no casualties, because I had a slightly injury on his finger or something. Let's hope it's nothing serious. Let's hope
the guys are back. Mara, take it as if fail. Why is things are failing? The guys are back. I can tell you for free. Mara, take it.
Yeah, no, the guys are back, but remember we need to prepare for this game. They're only coming back maybe today, and also they need to prepare for the match. Get all the information that they need from the coaches to implement on Saturday.
Nambi, take it to Jonah. Take it to Jonah. What is the summary?
Evapi Liprase, Evapi. Anyway, now what over Canela?
Don't worry about the ticket. You forget now we are 57 and we are fine with 57 of us. So the 57 of us, we've got the ticket. We don't have a stress of filling up stadium. I mean,
so
you cannot have everything, cannot fill stadium and win trophies. You have to choose. It's either you fill stadium or win trophies. Our business is to win trophies. We don't mind about filling stadium. We know ourselves how many we are. So we're not even desperate of filling up stadiums. We find the 57 of us. We just need to no, but it's not going to be the first time.
57.
No, but remember, we are used to stadium full outside South Africa. So we're playing Champions League in season out. So we're used to somehow filling up the stadium. Also the African League, there was stadium that we fill. So it's not a problem. It's not a transmission. It's not a problem. The boys are experienced. I mean, Bafana played on the packed stadium. 60% of those players were Sundowns players. So it's
hey, Marala Ofrem, Pala Ofrem.
9,000 tickets left.
Wait, Mukwena was right.
There's 9,000 tickets left.
Let's stay on point.
So there will be more than 39,000 people watching us. So leave us alone.
Wait, let's stay on point. Let's stay on point, guys. Hey, Mara, you guys are pentaman.
So yeah, OT. Let's hope we see goals on Saturday. Hope Clanton is going to be defensive. But then it's a cup game. This game, it's everyone's game. Everyone can win it. Sundowns has no right to win it. We can lose it. So we just need to focus. Make sure that the game plan works. If it doesn't work, we must have plans B and plan C.
Yeah.
But just make sure that we win this game. It doesn't matter how we win it. If we win it ugly, we win it ugly. But then we need to win this cup game so that Mangoba can at least settle and then easy up the pressure on him. So he really needs this win and this cup just to easy up the pressure so that when we go to other trophies, we have been settled and then the pressure is not there and the confidence is high from the boys. So yeah, we really need this cup more than Makesi actually.
I mean, I like latecomers because you tend to prove my point. But I just wanted to ask
Can
you.
I get in before I go, guys? I want to say something before I go.
Wait, let me do this because I'm gonna end it now. I just want to have him, man, agent, just to get some time, man. I just wanted to ask him, what does Makesi have to do to win this? And then I'll let everybody jump in and give their final statements. I'll start with you, agent. But Clave, what does Makesi have to do here?
Continue doing what they've been doing throughout the competition. OT. They must make sure that they use the small chances that they have because they're not gonna be having so many chances against Sundowns. One chance that they find, they must use it. Make sure that they score, and then after that, I think they must just defend for their lives. This is a cup game. They only need one goal, defend the whole game, they win the cup. So they need to use that one chance that they get, and then they close shops. Because they won't go.
It's not called defending for your life. It's called tipezezing, man. Oh.
Yeah, they must just it after scoring one goal. But then you can't defend against these Mangoba Sundowns. It's very dangerous. These Mangoba Sundowns. They can beat a low block. So yeah. Good luck to Makesi. It's gonna be interesting game. Yeah, but then let me just edge also the Masandawana that can travel to Bloemfontein to buy ticket. Let's support the boys. I think they need us there. So everyone that can able to go, guys, let's go support the boys.
Agent says there's 9,000 tickets left. Agent, I'm gonna let you have the first closing statement. So everybody's gonna get a chance to just say their closing statement. Let me go to Agent. Agent, Kana, how many tickets? Just clarify that before you close.
There's less than 9,000 tickets left. At last count was around 39,000 tickets sold. It's a 46,000 capacity. What? So it's less than 9,000 tickets left from last time. So you guys should check them and buy them, those who are able to. And I think Sundowns did something very interesting last time. I think they just clicked now. Last time against Gallants, we went and sang with Siwelele fans. So I thought, so nice clicking that we are buying that. So it looks like we bought them also, so be supporting us instead of Makesi. But I wanted to give my prediction before I go. And members, I've been cautioned not to give predictions, or if I have a different feeling on the day, I've been cautioned to keep it to myself. So
we know you. Day before, morning off. Otherwise, we don't care.
So even the morning, I don't say anything. Just know that, eat your supper well in time, and be prepared, for the banter that's coming. But if I say something, know that I know you can buy wines. But at this moment in time, I see a 6-0 win or a 6-1 win. I see a Mangoba repeating history again. The 6-0 or 6-1 win for Sundowns. Thank you.
It's fine. The Saturday morning, he's gonna come in and say, guys, hey, I'm not feeling this game. The people in the group know. We don't listen to agent on this day. Let me go to Humphrey, your closing statements, and then also your score prediction.
My closing statement would be that I hope and I really hope that Clinton actually tomorrow he deploys the Mikel Arteta's tactics, dark arts. Use dark arts. You see, if you use dark arts frustrate Sundowns, try to drag the game. You know, I mean, Chipesas is the master of the arts. He did it against in the past with Varoka. So I mean, if they are able to use the dark arts, frustrate Sundowns, get the goal at the last dying minutes. And my prediction for game for tomorrow, I see it as a 1-1. Then Mage is winning by penalties.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go to Prasem. Final statements. Gasteba score how, man? With 6 or 7.
Change of mind.
How?
Change of plans.
How?
Change of plans. Like I said, Magezi, I didn't go after you. Let's not be smart. Let's play route one football, because if we try this thing of playing from the back, they will catch us. So, friends of Magezi for life. Score prediction 1-0 to Magezi. No extra time, no penalties. Please.
Hey, cut your pirates. I get you very cosan, but it's fine.
Hey, I'm
let me go to Alson we call us Alson Tabi.
Okay, because kakwa re life ke sa eme mantsweng a ka qadileng ka ona re emetse date bontate meet up before re tsamaya this December ke yona fela ntho o qetela ene ha re lo supporta ba ba mona pela ka Orlando re rela ile sa South African no
But also Tabi.
No. Happy stadium. Re batla meet up ya di overthinkers, not stadium.
Okay, all right, okay. Let me bring it. I know you just came in, you just arrived, but I'm gonna ask you to close.
Yeah, no, okay. 5-0 from my side. We're gonna win 5-0. We're gonna beat the GNU, Soweto United. It's us against South Africa. So yeah, 5-0. If we score early, it's better for us. Let's hope they don't frustrate us. We wait until the second half. The sooner we score, the better for us. We score early, Chipezeze, then we dismantle him, then he won't do his thing. So, but yeah, 5-0 for us.
So against South Africa,
Hey, Marai. Makesi, Coach Clinton Larson Nare Makesi, Dalali Bafana, but he doesn't know that Saturday Makesi is the national team. If you want my thoughts, I have a video that is out right now on my YouTube. So please support Mankupa Reviews. Head on over to YouTube, the Overthinking Football Show. If you want to know what I think about the game and what my prediction is, this has been the members show. The people you hear speaking are part of a larger group of people that we have a WhatsApp group, the official Overthinking Football WhatsApp group. We banter, we speak, we inform. Hey, it's an incredible place to be for football. So if you want to join that WhatsApp group, on my YouTube channel, the Overthinking Football Show, just click on join, click on subscribe, then click on join. And in the members area, there's a link to go into the WhatsApp group. And maybe you can be joining us when we do the Overthinking Football meetup that we're planning right now, where everybody can meet each other and we can all have some really good times for this football we love. Guys, the show is on Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. Unless Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana style in UWC have been knocked out of the Champions League. But if they were there, we were going to watch them live. So I will be live on Saturday at 6 p.m. where you can come in, jump in, analyze with me. This was a closed session for the members. It's one of the perks. They pick the topics. They speak more than I do. They run the show. So join if you have not joined. But otherwise, you know how it works. All of the previous shows are available in full on YouTube. And if you still want tickets to the game, there is a link in my profile right now. So in all of my profiles where you can click the link and there's a little bit of something there. So please, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you to the members. Thank you to those who commented. Thank you to Sipo F, Lulu the Boss Lady Clouds, Papa Khosi Ponyo Vest, and Fandenom, thank you so much for the gifts. It really does mean a lot. It really does help us on. And the last thing that I'm going to part with now is Ulindo. I think he's starting his show. So at Lindo Pep, he's going to be starting at 9 o'clock. But the last thing I want to say, guys, is please support us content creators. Support the guys that do this. There isn't a show on Supersport that does this. There isn't a show on SAPC. You have to listen to old players or hosts or former coaches. Here is the place where we can come together and speak. We do incredible work here about this local football that we love. So guys, if you can donate, if you can support, if you can share, if you can comment, if you can like, if you can let people know, if you know corporate people, if you do all of those things, let them know about us and help us out in building and growing these things so that these platforms can be as big as the ones that we see on TV. We are fighting very hard to be there and very hard to keep these things running. So support, guys. You have immense power to help us that are doing these things. Don't think good in this Bonalana, the Shama backlight and all of that stuff that it's good. It's not good and it's not amazing. It's not financially whatever they say. Help us out so that we can carry on doing this. Guys, it's been incredible. I'll see you then on Saturday at 6 p.m. Support the videos. I've got videos dropping. I've dropped 2 today. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Abdoti. Bye. Bye, Masandawana. How
What's up?
defend the